Peter, I'm in the boardroom.
Mr. Dickinson?
Yes.
Peer committee, you have yourself, Ms. Bramer, Mr. McDevitt is here in the boardroom, and Ms. Smith is on Zoom. The Shepard is not here today.
Okay. Wait a minute. Peter. Okay. I will start with the Real Property Committee. I'll call the meeting to order and ask for a resolution to pass the minutes from last. That would be Claudia. Do I have a second?
I'll second it, Peter.
Peter, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Lexi, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Okay. I'm hoping to just have a brief discussion on the Mullins property. They have completed all of the demolition. Everything has been removed from the property. Snow fence is down. The equipment is all gone. That ended on the 8th of February was the last day. So we are progressing along. Might have some discrepancies in regards to some bills. ATL did send us a bill, but we are working on that. I've worked with the county attorney's office to send them a letter to let them know that we're disputing some of the charges. So I'll probably be bringing that back to committee next month to talk about that, or wherever we end up with it. I want to keep everybody informed with what's going on with that.
Okay.
That's all I really have. I mean, it's a plus that it's completely down and cleared, and everything passed. So
it's ready for us to put on the market?
I want to say possibly. I think Treasurer Swan has added it to the foreclosure for this year, or, you know, to go to the auction, right. I should say, not the foreclosure, because we already have title.
Right.
So I think that's the route that he was going. I'm not sure what everybody else on the committee may think to that, but that was the route I think that we had talked about before going.
Well, we'll go right to the horse's source. Claudia.
Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, that's what Treasurer Swan said, is that it's listed, it will go in the auction for sale in the fall. That, I think, is the best way to proceed, to see if anyone will buy the property now that it's cleared off. As everyone knows, I wanted to try to sell the property with the building on it, but we never put it out for bid or anything, or for sale. So we think that there will be more interest now that the building is down. And like Lexi said, everything was, I think, acceptable. All of the testing results came back fine while they were doing the demolition. So it's possible that there will be a buyer out there.
Have we heard anything from Supervisor Straub?
Supervisor Straub does have his proposal out there, and, you know, the town of Queensbury could withdraw the property from the auction if they follow the normal protocol, which is, I always forget the formula, Lexi. What is it? 1/3 of the taxes, or?
It is 1/3 of the value or the delinquent taxes, whichever are less.
Okay.
That's the standard protocol. So if they wanted to do that, they certainly could, meaning Queensbury Town Board.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll check on it. Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
do you mind if I have a question for Lexi, if you don't mind? It's Ryan.
Not a problem, Ryan. Go ahead.
Lexi, we're waiting on final bills then from ATL as well as from Bronze. Is that correct?
Yes. I spoke with Tom yesterday via a text message asking him if he had gotten the way slips yet. And he said they do have them in their office with the paperwork, but he was out of the office yesterday, so there was nothing he could do. He says when they bill us, they will include those snow removal weigh slips so that we know what the cost of those were. So right now I don't have a cost for them. And ATL still has another bill that they need to submit to us besides the one that I got from them a week ago or so. So yes.
Okay, so then the plan would be to come back to committee and have the committee approve, or ratify rather, the change order and approve payout of this project.
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Peter, did you have something?
Yeah, I did, Dennis. Thank you. Lexi, looking at the property, there appears to be some stone or foundation, maybe towards the rear of the property. That's what it looks like from the road anyway. Is there some stone still remaining on the property itself?
Peter,
Or foundation?
what kind of stone are you talking about?
It looks like,
I know there was a couple of barrier blocks that were still there that the town of Queensbury had put on the property back when we were trying to keep people out of being able to go into the north end of the property. So there was, I believe, 2 or 3 of them piled there. But as in a pile of stone, not to my knowledge.
solid, it's like a portion of a wall possibly, or stonework. I would say it's on the rear southern portion of the property.
Okay. So what that was it's dirt, and it's probably 2 feet. I don't think it's quite 3 feet high. And what it is it's where the back wall of the building, and then that was the dirt on the outside of the wall. So when they took the wall down, that dirt was, because the ground was frozen, so that ground is a little elevated there, but it's where the back of the wall was, but there's not any of the wall left.
Okay, so going forward, that should not be a problem to a potential purchaser, I would assume, huh?
No, it's just a dirt wall, like you could say.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anybody else have anything? You got anything else, Alex?
Nope, that's all that I have for committee today.
Excellent, good girl.
Thanks.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting, and we'll open the environmental meeting.
Mr. Dickinson, you don't need to close the meeting, you can just go right into the next.
Okay, we'll go right into the environmental meeting. Okay, call the meeting to order. We'll do the approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Somebody have a motion?
Nope, you already did that with the approval of the real property minutes. It's all
So the
one.
meeting's, okay. My bad.
Also calling Lexi a girl. You're bad.
She's not a girl.
No, she's a woman.
That's all right, Claudia, I'll take the compliment. Girl still.
All right,
Um,
as long as you're okay with it.
No offense taken.
do we have anything on the agenda? Has anybody got anything on the agenda?
Yes,
Claude?
thanks, Dennis. This on the agenda for environmental concerns is to send to public hearing the septic inspection at transfer law. Do you mind if I walk through it?
No, not at all.
Okay, thanks. It's in the proposal is in your agenda packet, and Attorney Terwilliger did go through it and make some changes, but the basic intent and the applicability is there on page 1, which talks about this law will apply to all wastewater treatment systems that are within 250 feet of a specific list of water bodies, which is at the very end of the proposal. It's there in Appendix A so that if in the future we wanted to change the list of water bodies that it's applicable to, that could be done more easily rather than having it in the text of the language. But anyway, per your request, Supervisor Dickinson, it does have a provision there that says that any municipality who wants to opt out of the law may do so, and that the law will not apply to Bolton, Chester, Queensbury, and any other municipality which maintains local laws regarding septic inspections upon transfer. Because as you'll remember, this law is modeled after Queensbury and Bolton, which already have their own laws, and Chester does have a law on the books as well. If you go down through, it is similar to the Queensbury and Bolton one, where you will have to do an inspection. You provide that information to the county, and there are provisions for appealing to this committee any determination that is adverse that the person wants to appeal from our county codes department. So that's in the administrative review section. And that's about it, unless anyone has any questions. The bottom line is to get people to inspect their septic systems when they're putting their property on the market. And if there are any failures, they would have to fix those.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions? I would like to.
Supervisor Hogan.
Oh, I'm sorry. Andrea?
Thank you, Chairman. If a community wishes to have a water body added, is the better time before this goes through public hearing or after, or?
Right now.
Yeah, right now.
No, not going there.
If you want to do it, you should do it now.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. I am going to table this, Claudia. I have gotten the final copy from the attorney. I have not read through it. And I'd like to do that before we go any farther, so I will do that. Does anybody have any other questions about septic law? Andrea?
I have questions about process. Does the chairman have the ability to table unilaterally, or? I don't know. I'm asking.
If the chairman is saying he needs more time, I'm not going to push for a motion to move it forward.
Oh, I didn't know that was an option. Lovely to know.
Well, I think that's a matter. Yeah.
Let's back up a little bit. I don't want to crush anybody's roses. Does somebody want to make a motion to allow me to table it?
I'll make the motion, Dennis.
Thank you, Peter. Is there a second? Sylvia, thank you. It's on the floor. Is there any further discussion? I would like a chance to look it over. I appreciate it if you give me that chance. It's only a month. So I'll bring the question to the floor. All in favor of tabling it?
Aye.
And opposed? Good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I will be ready next month. So I appreciate the time. Thank you. Does anybody have anything else? Yes, Claudia.
Thanks, Dennis. Yeah, I would like to make sure that we do bring it back next month so that we have it considered and send it to a public hearing for changes like what Supervisor Hogan mentioned. But I would suggest to her that if her town board wants to have a different water body added, that they get it to us before it goes to public hearing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah, she's got it. Okay, if there's nothing else, I have a couple things. I have talked to some of the environmental groups. The Fund for Lake George was very responsive. I want them to come and talk to the committee about two things. One is the HABs, the harmful algae blooms. I'd like them to explain to the committee what they are and where they come from and what we can do to prevent them. And then I'd like them to do the same with the woolly hemlock algid. We're having a serious problem with that, and we have a large percentage of the Lake George Basin is hemlocks. And if we lose those hemlocks, we're going to have a very big eyesore. I don't know how many of you remember any of the tent caterpillar episodes we've had on the lake, where they skin all the leaves off the tree after they bloom, and you'll have patches on the side of the mountain that are all gray. This is the same thing, only it's permanent. With the tent caterpillars, they're cyclic. The trees do recover from it and keep on going. So I'd like them to come and talk about those two items. I have to make notes. And the last item is I'm quite concerned about our recyclables in our trash. I want to make sure that we're on top of this thing. There's a lot of talk about cost, but I think we need to get a handle on it. I think we need to do something. I have trash service. They take my household garbage, and then they also take my recyclables, which we go to a great deal of effort to put our recyclables in it. And I want to be reassured that they're not taking them down to the burn plant and burning them. We need to look at this. This is a serious problem worldwide, and we really need to look at it. So I will look into that and keep track of where we're going. I want to talk to Kevin Hajos. Claudia?
Thanks, Chairman. I have 2 points. One is on the harmful algae blooms, there is data connecting poorly functioning septic systems with, pollutants that are getting into the lake, potentially causing these harmful algae blooms. So I think that's a great connection there between the law that we are looking at passing and protecting the lake from these harmful algae blooms. And secondly, I'm not sure if you were on the meeting this morning with DPW where Kevin talked about, okay, all right, so you saw. I think that's great that they are moving forward with that and going to hire someone who will help keep track of the haulers, make sure there's accountability there, and hopefully going forward providing education to the public about opportunities, not only for recycling, but perhaps composting as well to keep some of these materials out of the waste stream.
Absolutely. Composting is a big portion of it. To answer your question, the harmful algae blooms, all algae blooms, are dependent on three things: nitrogen, phosphorus, and temperature. So we've resolved recently, not that long ago, we resolved the phosphorus problem. We don't have that problem, but we do have a nitrate problem, obviously. And the last summer was extremely warm, which warmed the water up, and that's why we got the bloom. So yeah, it's definitely tied to septic systems.
Yeah.
Andrea?
Thank you, Chairman. If anybody's interested, on the 11th, Dave Wick from the Park Commission did an awesome presentation at the APA meeting on the stormwater management plan, and he talked about the blooms in that. It should be up on the APA website, but it was a really great presentation.
Did Dave make it?
Pardon? Yeah, he did.
Andrea?
Yes, it was Dave.
Yeah, David did?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. He's very, very knowledgeable, and he's very good at covering the topic.
Yeah, it really was informative. So if anybody's
Yeah.
interested, you can go to the APA website and find it there. It was the 11th of February.
Yeah, thank you. Anybody have anything else? I have nothing else. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
We do have some public comment if you.
All right.
entertain that.
Still in committee, are you?
Yeah, let me call you back.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Don. I'm sorry.
It's just one comment from YouTube. A person identified as Stuart Allen wrote, "I support the proposed septic transfer law." That is it.
Okay. Good for him. Okay, we'll try it again. Entertain a motion to adjourn. Claudia? So moved. We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.